Back in Daytona, the big crash has just happened off turn 2. At least 8 or 9 cars involved. Heavy contact. You see the 33 of Paul Menard, one of the cars involved, and the car with the heavy front end that's smoking straight in front of us is Wally.
We see the 38 car of Casey Kane back there. Wally is putting the window net down, taking his gloves off.
He was 12th last time by the start-finish line, so it happened right up toward the front of the field. It's Casey Kane in the 38 behind Wally. Mike Bliss is also involved in the 20.
Casey's getting out of his car. Looks to be okay, none the worse for the wear.
Caution out at the 12th lap here at Daytona. You see the cars down on the inside of the racetrack.
Mike Bliss was also involved in the 20 car.
Right. Just mentioned that a second ago, BP. He's driving on the apron inside of turn 3, trying to limp back around. There's Joe Nemechek in the 87 coming back around. Now pay attention to Mike Bliss's car here, the red 20 machine.
That one. He gets a great run on the bottom of the racetrack, but it gets loose off the corner and goes up and catches, is that Strimmy and Wally?
Yeah. Johnny Benson in the 1, Nemechek in the 87.
One more look.
Looked like he just had a big run to the inside of Mike Wallace and then decided that hole was closing up.
Yeah, a lot of times you get that feel that you've got a push there and you've really got a run and you want to take advantage of it, and then the next thing your car starts to push a little bit off of that corner and you jerk the wheel and then the back end goes out from under you and then you're in a bad position, as we can see right here.
And Leffler almost got him in the 00, but Bliss goes back across the racetrack, runs right in the side of Wally. Now he has no steering. And watch him just go straight down and hit the inside wall. He's trying to get it to go the right, but he can't steer the car. He sees the wall coming, and about this time is when you close your eyes because you're not going to like that.
Ouch.
It almost looked like the throttle might have been hung on that. You could see the front tires weren't turning there, but he had the brakes on. But wow, that's a hard lick. This happened. There were about 25 cars in this pack, so it happened kind of right in the middle of them.
Dave, what about the 20 car?
Mike radioed in right after that he was, you saw where he was in the middle of the track. He said, I got in the middle. He said the back end just came around. I don't know what happened, if the air got taken off of it or whatever, but he realizes the back end of the car just came right out from under him.
So caution out for this crash on the backstretch. At least 6, 7 cars involved.
Was that Jason Keller in the 22 car? Or was that the 87 of Nemechek went down toward the inside? Couldn't tell.
87, yeah. On board the 38 of Casey Kane.
He gets inside of Nemechek and goes for a ride.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Casey and Joe.
That's from on board Wally's car.
Open. One car down low. Middle's open. Tell you that. Well, hey, just wipe this out, guys. Wally, you okay?
The engine wasn't, the throttle wasn't hung. Just couldn't stop it.
Yeah, it just can't get stopped.
Because you'd knocked the brakes off when he made contact with that car.
You know, you like to run that high line a lot of times to keep the car wound up and it can go.
Sorry,
but
guys, no
the
place
thing I always hate about being in the high line, if something does happen, you have nowhere to go. You're there. And just like we saw with Casey Kane and Joe Nemechek, they were both probably okay just trying to avoid. Joe just moved down to try to avoid the accident. And Casey happened to be there trying to go to the bottom too and took both of those out.
It's on board Mike Bliss's car. Oof. Johnny Benson.
At the back here, front too hard.
Now you know how those bowling pins feel at the bowling alley. They start banging off each other.
Heavily damaged. So, involved in the crash, 8 drivers. You see the list there. A few of them drove back around to pit road. Johnny Benson, Joe Nemechek, C.W. Smith all drove back around to pit road, but some pretty heavy damage to all of those cars. So the crash has happened. As feared, Mike Bliss getting loose in traffic. By the time it's done, 8 cars in a smoking heap on Daytona's back straightaway. Back at Daytona, they've just opened the pit road, and here come all of the lead cars for service. Dave Burns, lead us off.
Alan, Jason Leffler was running in 8th position. His car was loose. They stick a wrench in the rear window there to make a track bar adjustment. They will also change all 4 tires for Jason. Marty?
Kevin Harvick said, good thing this car, we got this caution to fix this car. The car way too loose. They go underneath the rear of the car, unhook the rear sway bar, a major adjustment, and a pound out of the right rear tire, Matt.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. hit pit road as a leader, a gas and go. They're going to save tires for later in the race. Even though he ran through some debris, they feel like those tires should be okay. He says the car is very good. His big concern, where was Martin Truex in that crash? Because he knew that he was back there. They told him he is fine.
Johnny Sauter ran through his pit box on the pit lane.
Yeah, I happened to be watching that, and Johnny came in running 3rd, and just got in a little bit hot. That first pit stop's always hard to judge, and slid right through. Actually hit his tire carrier, but it looks like they were able to complete the stop then.
Dave, go ahead.
Alan, as we ride on board with Greg Biffle, his car also very, very loose, and they made a track bar and a wedge adjustment to try to fix that for Greg. Remember, guys, we've been hearing all week about tight race cars. That's the second one that I've heard about that's been actually the 3rd one that's been loose.
All right, so Greg Biffle rejoining the race. We'll check his running order here after the shuffle of pit stops. Watch Johnny Sauter's car. Right. Oh, no, that's a different thing. That's Ashton Lewis getting tangled up with Matt Kenseth.
And going around backwards. Here's a 17-year on board with Matt Kenseth as he runs in the back of Ashton Lewis and probably does some damage to his grill, the front of his car.
It's tough to pick out where you're supposed to be and easy to drive by it.
Yeah, it really is, and you know you're concentrating so much on your board. A lot of times I try every race to make sure that I know who's pitting around me, and my spotter Bob Jeffrey does a good job of letting me know who's going to be peeling off in front or if they're going on down. And unfortunately, there Matt was probably just looking ahead and didn't realize that Ashton was going to his pit that quickly.
So the new leader of the Hershey's Kisses 300 is Michael Waltrip. We'll reset the field for you as the cleanup continues at Daytona. Pretty wild sequence here in Daytona. An 8-car accident off turn 2 and then some action on pit road. Marty?
Well, Pat Schaefer is the front tire carrier for the 2017 of Johnny Sauter. You see him being loaded onto the little temporary ambulance there. They're going to take him to the infield care center. They're probably going to have some stitches on that cut you see on his face. He said he's not sure what happened, but he does know one thing for sure. If they'll let him, he said, I'm making the next stop. Dave?
Mike Bliss's crew working hard on this car to try to get it back out there. Mike, second time this weekend involved in something. This one looked like it started with your car. What happened?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you're in a wreck here and it's not your fault, and I'll take the blame for this. I just coming off it too, it broke loose, and it hadn't been loose. It was handling pretty well right then, and I kind of moved up the racetrack right there to try to get up on the high side, and it just unloaded. The rear tire just unloaded real quick, and I couldn't save it. And I hated to take out all the cars and stuff, but I don't know. I hate it for these guys, and I hate it for everyone else I took out.
Mike, it was just starting to sprinkle over in pit lane. Was there any sign of moisture on the track at all?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I didn't see anything. I think it was just a cause of where, I don't know. I just got loose and took everybody out.
All right, Mike, very disappointed, obviously, with what's happened here, guys. He's out. The Hershey's Kisses 300. Alan?
All right, Dave, a lot of work going on back in the garage among a lot of cars. Joe Nemechek's, Johnny Benson's, Bliss's, Wally's, Casey Kane's, and Paul Menard's have all been towed off the racetrack into the garage area. Check out what happened on pit road. We talked about Johnny Sauter running through his pit box, and we just talked with the crew member there a second ago. Watch the spot shadow there. That's Sauter's car.
We see the coming to pit road and just keeps on going. And look at that guy do the header on pit road. The fellow that Marty just showed us. Man.
I can tell you from a driver's standpoint, that's a terrible, terrible feeling. Unfortunately, had that last year at Indianapolis.
Turn 4. Paul Wolf finally spun off turn 4, and around he goes. It's going to collect about 10 cars.
You could just see when he was in the center of that pack, he was having a hard time keeping that thing in the middle lane. 43 is Josh Richardson. Mike Wallace just crashed onto pit road, scattering somebody's pit crew. 22 got, well, he got in that grass, and that grass is still wet. You cannot slow down in this grass. Martin Truex, Paul Wolf, we called his number earlier.
Oh, man.
That's Mike Wallace, who crashed into the pit wall after coming out of the wet grass. 77 car, also in it, Donnie Neuenberger. There's his machine. 9 cars. 9 cars in all involved in the crash. Tim Fita was driving away. 62 of Larry Hollenbeck's driving away. Well, you could just see that coming, Benny.
You could.
Watch that 6 car in the center. He could. It just didn't seem like he could stay in the middle. He was going down. He was starting up. Oh boy, hit Kyle Busch.
And Busch somehow keeps control.
And I don't know how Michael Waltrip got through there either.
And Junior was under the 6 car, and Wolf tried to come down. Junior was there. He had to go back up. He got the car going back and forth, and just finally could not save it off turn 4.
Watch Michael Waltrip in the 99. I don't know how he gets through this thing. Right there. Watch this. Whoa!
Right in front of Fedewa, Josh Richardson.
And now I see Mike Wallace into the grass. He'll end up across the pit lane and into the wall, protecting the pit crews from the racing cars. I don't know what the heck, why he went up the track like that so much. I think just broke loose on him. Daytona rookie lesson.
You know, and he's part of a program called the Hungry Drivers Program. And at the end of the year, hopefully one of these 4 drivers are going to use this year would get a free ride. He did not do himself any good today, did he?
Coming at you. Yeah, Busch did a good job saving that car after he got hit. So the 6 car going to be rolled back behind the wall for damage repairs. And now check this out. And this is pretty scary here. Mike Wallace in the 4 car gets turned into the grass, fights it, and watch how he ends up hitting the wall, separating the pit crews from the race cars. If you are ever at a racetrack, rule number 1 is never turn your back on the cars. Never turn your back to the direction the cars come from. That's why pit crews always have to be paying attention. Another big wreck. Now up to 10 cars are tally under caution at Daytona. A NASCAR Monday matinee on this President's Day from Daytona Beach, Florida. The NASCAR Busch Series Hershey's Kisses 300 under caution after a multi-car pileup off turn 4.
Watch the 6. Paul Wolf goes up, gets in the side of the 5 of Kyle Busch, and comes down in front of Timmy Fedewa, and it's on. No place for all these cars to go. Mike Wallace, the red 4 car, comes down through the grass, ends up hitting the inside wall.
You don't realize how fast you're going, Benny, until going backwards or sideways.
Where you get on that grass and you say, man, there's just no traction whatsoever in that wet grass.
And the list of those involved in the crash. We put Michael Waltrip in there. He got nicked on the side by the Paul Wolf car when he came back across the track. And let's hear from the man who was at the focal point of the beginning of that crash with Marty.
He was in the middle lane there, Alan, and the car looked pretty out of control there in the middle. Paul, what happened?
Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly without looking at the replay. Everything's happening so fast out there, and you know, and the middle's definitely not the place to be. And you know, I hate to say really what happened. I mean, I guess just the air moving the car around, and I don't know if I pinched up on a guy on the outside and just ran out of room. I really hate it for anybody that was involved in it, and the guys on this team just worked so hard, and it's a really good car. Just really frustrated with the way it ended.
Tough break for this promising rookie, Alan.
This morning, Kenny's got 10 poles, including at one point in his life a pole here in what
Paul Wolf has crashed and really torn that car up coming out of what we called Calamity Corner, turn 2.
We talked about it a little earlier, Mike, when you come up off of turn 2. If you miss what I consider the middle of 1 and get up too high coming up off of turn 2, what happened to Paul Wolf happens a lot of times to a lot of drivers.
Coming off that corner, Jeff, the track just falls right out from under you.
It really does. I've been down here before, as we see right now the NASCAR officials coming over and checking out Paul Wolf. He's moving inside the car, but if you just take a look, the car kind of bobbles on him right there, gets loose. He gets up a little bit high and tries to catch it, and away she goes.
That's a hard hit. I mean, a very hard hit. Yeah, I mean, on fresh tires here, you pick the throttle up so early. Back in the middle of the corner, you're carrying so much speed, and you just saw it get loose with him on acceleration. That overcorrect.
Let's see, was he high up the racetrack?
I think a little bit high. You try to see, he's a little bit high right there, and you try to pull it down right there, and you lose that banking, and it's not much grip. And the one other thing right there, and not to criticize the young man because he is a rookie, but they'll tell you in these drivers' meetings, these veterans will tell you when it gets loose like that, turn it to the left, lock it up, and spin it around. And he tried to catch it, and he got away from it.
He was up the racetrack about a half a lane.
And that was a hard lick. You notice the car come all the way up off the ground.
Wham! Oh. And the country crock car is headed, apparently, for the house. Tough break for the rookie, Paul Wolf, Busch North Series graduate from Milford, New York. There he is. He's okay and out of the car.
Trouble. He's and we got a car in trouble here too. I don't know if we're going to get a caution or not. We got everybody bottlenecked up over here.
That's Carl Long in the 83.
He just got in the wall down in turns 1 and 2, and I think he must have a problem.
We stayed green though, no caution.
He got in the wall in 1 and 2, and then it kind of followed him all the way down into 3 and 4.
Ooh, boy!
Right in front of Casey Kane in the 38 car. Everybody has to go to the bottom of the racetrack because he's still wiggling down the backstretch.
It looks like his left rear tire might be flat.
There is no caution.
Yeah, he's got a flat tire or a broken track bar.
I think it may be the track bar. Yeah, the rear end looks like it's wobbling around in there now.
Track bar holds the rear end in the center of the car, and it looks like maybe it's pulled apart at one end or so and let the rear end float back and forth left and right.
Yeah, you can see the left rear tire sticking way out. That's why I first saw it, I thought it was flat, but it's actually knocked the rear end housing way over to the left there.
Yeah, we're sitting here looking right now. You can see Justin Ashford car comes into the picture area, up into the wall. He goes right in the center of the corner. Car just breaks loose, and he slides up into the outside retaining wall and brought out our first caution of the day.
Truex leading, Johnny Sauter second, Greg Biffle up to third. Let's go upstairs. So Mike
all the way to 13th. Right now, listed 10th. He said his car is miserable on the tight side. To make matters worse, his earplugs are falling out, and there's trouble on the racetrack.
Johnny Benson's car slowed in turn 4, and he was piled into by the 56 of Regan Smith.
I think he had a flat tire. He wanted to get to pit lane, but he couldn't, and then he got run into, and now he's in big trouble.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to continue to lose more and more time here. And again, this is where the bottom falls out. You're on the bud pole. You go to the rear of the field because of infraction.
Caution is out. Second one of the day.
Yeah, we got the debris on the racetrack. Pierre type.
Johnny B broken.
Yeah, you can see he's got a left rear tire down. And he was trying to get the thing to pit lane, and not a good time to be trying to get to pit lane. He's going to have to retread.
Second caution, and it comes just 10 laps after the first. With the limited tire availability in the Busch Series, likely pit road will be pretty empty.
We'll let you know in just a second, but I'm going to tell you who the real benefactor of that caution could be Kyle Busch in the 5 car. He at one
time was 2 laps down. Now he's going to get to go around the leader when we get 1 to go to get the free pass. He'll be back on the lead lap. And just to explain that free pass quickly, remember this is something that NASCAR started doing with a handful of races to go last year to keep the cars from racing back to the caution. The first car behind the leader, regardless of where he's at, that's 1 lap down where he's at on the racetrack when the caution comes out. Before they go back racing, he gets to go around the leader and make that lap back up. He's at the back of the field, but he's back on the lead lap.
Here's Matt on Johnny Benson.
Mike, to add to the tire story that you were mentioning, in fact, Mark Reno, the crew chief, is up on top of the press box as the spotter. He told John Wolf, just change the left rear so that way we save our right sides for later.
And that's the other good thing about Kyle Busch. He got a set of tires that these other guys don't have because he had to stop under the green.
Hood is up for Hermie Sadler as we work the second caution of the day. This is the NASCAR Busch Series on FX, presented by John Deere. Casey Kane. That black 38.
Yeah, that black 38 had trouble, but the guy behind him caused it too, the 00.
David Stremmy's helmet cam.
David Stremmy's out there 46 laps down, just trying to run as many laps.
Kevin Harvick got what he wanted, a caution flag, but it wasn't pretty. The Goodies Headache Powders 200 under yellow because Aaron Fike spun up in turn number 3, and long after the caution waved was T-boned by Hermie Sadler. Both drivers are okay. You see them both, but the damage to those cars is heavy. Fike will lead the 43 down on the inside.
He gets cut off a little bit there.
Johnny Sauter
tries to stay off of Sauter, and in the process of doing that, he spins the car around. Whoa, that was a great move there.
Bobby Hamilton
squeezes through on the outside. Now, Fike's holding the car up here. He's not going to let it roll down the hill. He's going to lock the brakes up here.
Now remember, everybody's supposed to be slowing down right now. You're not gaining anything by racing.
The field is frozen. Now you're going to see this car start to roll, but I'm not so sure he didn't see Hermie coming and thought, oh, gee.
Oh.
That was a hard hit.
I think he saw that car coming, and he said, he's not going to miss me. Yeah, I mean, he's all the way up on the outside. I don't know. It's hard to say what a driver's thinking, but I think the 43, Fike thought he saw him coming. He said, oh, gee, I got to get out.
Here's how Michael Waltrip saw it.
And he saw all of that.
I agree, Darrell. You know, Hermie's coming to the high side. Well, I'll give him room up there.
Yeah, I think that's what he thought when then he realized, oh my gosh, that is right in the driver's door.
Both guys got out and walked to the ambulance, though. That says a lot for the integrity of these race cars.
And the 43 was just, I mean, he didn't have any damage. He just spun, and he was just sitting there.
Hermie Sadler, his crew chief, and spotter will have a meeting in the Busch Series officials truck after this race is over.
And right now, pit road is closed. We are showing 12 cars on the lead lap. Big break for Kevin Harvick. Big break for Steve Grissom as well in 5th.
We're working the 4th caution of the day. Here at Rockingham, you're looking at Kevin Harvick. He and Steve Grissom had hoped for a caution so their fuel strategy would play out. The caution came out when Aaron Fike was squeezed down by Johnny Sauter and spun up to the high side at turn 3. Was then tagged hard by Hermie. Finish, Ashton Lewis and Kenny Wallace crash.
That was a battle. 15.
Come on, boys, slow down.
Man.
Now, even on the last lap, the cars do not race to the flag if the caution is displayed.
Yeah,
but that all happened way behind Jamie McMurray.
And they're over here. They're across the finish line. Those guys are racing to the finish line. So,
Darrell, this has to be so rewarding for Jamie McMurray, though, to have accomplished what he has accomplished with 3 different race teams.
That is amazing right there. And it answers your question. Was it the car or the driver? Now we know.
Now we know.
Ashton Lewis in his unsponsored car and Kenny Wallace in a pickup ride were battling for 15th at the flag when they collided. Coming off turn 4.
Whoops. Can he come up in front of Ashton there to try to, I wouldn't say necessarily block him, that's just kind of what happens here. And you see the results.
Shame to tear up 2 good race cars in the last 100 feet of the race.
For 15th place.
And especially since that's Stanton Barrett's car, the 91 car that he basically put Kenny Wallace in where he could start this race.
We'll be back as Jamie McMurray has won 4 in a row at the Rock.
He's got a 32.70. He needs almost a second. He needs 9/10 to break into the top 38.
Keep it down, keep it down. Around he goes. Oh, hard on that outside wall. Mike, I think he was just thinking, I've got to pick it up. I've got to pick it up.
Yep.
He tried to get it all down there in turn 3, and the car got up a little bit high and then got away from him and up in the outside wall.
Well, I agree, Jeff. He was in a bad spot. He knew if he lifted, he was going home.
If you look right there as the car goes into turn 1 on a little apron right there, he's being chased by one of the fire trucks. So we got the rescue equipment right now right in behind this car, waiting for it to come to rest in case they need to be there. It goes up in there, you see the car gets loose right there, and around it comes and up in the outside wall. It comes back around when he tries to catch it, hits that outside wall again very hard. The right front tire.
You saw the dust fly. He was so high up on the racetrack anyway that just a couple of inches higher and you're up into the gray, up into the marbles, and the car snaps right around.
Carrying a lot of speed right there in that part of the racetrack too, so when you get back in the throttle trying to go faster, that's what happens.
Yeah, once that right rear got up into the loose stuff, he had no chance to save it.
The car looks like it's come to rest over just off of turn number 2. Rescue workers are there.
And he's
checking,
okay.
Yep, checking on the driver.
Bad news,
moving around.
Bad news for Briggs is good news for Gus Wasson, who holds on to that bubble spot of 38th fastest. So Matt Yoakum is with the 3rd driver this year in 3 races to be a first-time Busch.
And bam, gets hit. Caution is out. Whoa, he just about got it again.
He did get it again.
Yeah, somebody clipped him as he went by. I can't tell who that is.
That was the 51 on the bottom. Shane Sieg, one of the 15 drivers running his first Las Vegas Busch race. There's Stacy Compton, who was involved. There's Sieg in the 51.
Compton clipped him as he went by.
So what turned out to be a 3-car crash puts us under the first caution of the day at lap 32.
A lot of damage to the left front fender, Stacy Compton in the 59.
So you don't have to use the brakes as much.
I'd say 32 laps into this run, that's about a half of a fuel run. I think we'll see pit road very busy with adjustments and 4 tires.
Now the first car to spin around was this man, Donnie Neuenberger, in the 77. He was caught up by Shane Sieg, and then Stacy Compton came along and clipped Sieg.
It's coming off turn 2 right there.
Yeah, he just gets loose. Nobody's around him, but then he gets nailed right there by the 51 car. And then Compton was trying to go by on the inside there and clipped him.
Here's where Compton comes along on the bottom in the 59.
Just got him with the tail. Or Sieg actually backed down into Compton as Compton sped past. 3 cars involved. Shane Sieg got the worst of it. First caution of the day erases Bobby Hamilton. Tim Fedowa is the new leader at lap 169. We've just gone under caution. Eric McClure in the 04 had been running a higher and higher line and finally ran out of racetrack down in turn number 1. Pounded up against the wall. You can see he's still running. He'll get to pit road and make repairs in the iCanLearn.com Chevrolet. But here's what happened.
But I'm going to tell you who really benefits from this is Tim Fedowa in the 12 car, 20 laps to go.
Well, and trying to get on pit road. You know, trying to get on pit road right there up in front of the field, he's going to have to really be careful. He'll get run over.
Oh!
That's Kenseth.
He just slapped Matt Kenseth hard.
Dave Blaney in the 31.
Oh, Sauter got him.
Yeah, Sauter just turned Blaney around.
And it wasn't it Sauter that collided with Kenseth?
Oh, yeah.
And the caution is out. And, of course, the field is frozen right there, so this is going to be quite a break for Martin Truex, Joe Nemechek, David Green, and Greg Biffle, and Stacy Compton. All of them will get their lap back and back
Plus,
on the lead
big
lap.
break for the 5 car, too. He can do his drive-through under caution.
Absolutely.
Man, that was a little bit of, I don't know, I think I'd have to take another look at that one, boys.
There you see Kyle Busch in the 5 car doing his penalty. Dave Blaney in the 31 moving around.
Look at the side of Kenseth's car. I mean, it's just...
It's pretty well destroyed.
Look at that.
Wow. Now this started with Kyle Busch on the restart. Let's have a look first at that. Look for...
He's back here. He just hops out. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Top of your screen. Here he comes.
Now, the rule is you can pass to the right, but not till the green flag is displayed.
Yeah, he was passing to the right, but he just got a little early start.
Looked like somebody might have missed a shift up ahead of him. The pack kind of bottlenecked there just a bit.
Don't make no difference.
True.
We've seen that. Yeah, I've heard that story before. Now here they come.
And Sauter in the middle goes down.
Sauter just took off to the left, and there's Kenseth there now.
Yeah, Kenseth's trying to get back up on the track.
Sauter just basically turned the 31 around after that, like he was in the way. There goes Kenseth by, and Sauter's just trying to push his way through.
3 cars trying to go into a 2-car hole.
What I do see is Matt Kenseth and Johnny Sauter both have damage to their car, significant damage.
Yeah, and you know the problem is you don't know until you go back to green if there's going to be a tire rub or not. It's not rubbing now, but that's a lot of heavy contact right there, boys.
Well, in fact, Johnny Sauter in the 27, he's on pit road now.
That 9 car's got a significant damage down the right side. It's not going to hurt the performance of it if it doesn't hurt the if it's not rubbing the fenders and smoking the tires.
Any idea what caused Sauter to juke left like that?
It looked like he was bottled. It looked like he was boxed, and he was trying to get out of the box.
Jeannie?
Well, guys, they decided to bring him in because they wanted to look for body damage, and that is exactly what they found, especially on the rear to the car. The rear fender, they're pulling it out. They got the right front fender as well, and they gave him 4 tires, pulled tape on the grill, and now they're going to try to get back to work. It has been a rough day for this team.
They've had a good race car all day, but yeah, all the damage in it, the hood crack right there, the hole in the right front, that car's not going to drive very good now.
Aerodynamically, she's a mess.
Let's ride with Kevin Harvick.
Stand up here, spin, back her down, go low. All right, you're clear. Caution's out.
Good job by Danny
Clear.
Cullen.
There's a look at the Kleenex car, Dick Berggren. How about Matt Kenseth?
Well, the crew is telling him nothing is rubbing, so that's a good thing. Jeff Burton walked over to the television set in the next pit. They don't have a television set here in Kenseth's pit, believe it or not, and he watched all the replays. And Mike Kalanoff, the spotter, looked down at the car. They've told him that the right front fender's pushed in pretty good, but since nothing is rubbing, Matt Kenseth stays out there on the speedway.
Is he the luckiest guy in racing?
He is, but the thing that I'm worried about is when that car goes down in the corner, that right front's going to get into the fender, and it looks like it's shoved in. You can see now I'm pretty sure that he's going to have some tire rub when they go back to green.
Well, with all those cars getting to come around when the caution comes out, with 17 cars on the lead lap, Darrell, do you dare give up that lead in pit?
No, he can't. He's doing what he has to do, which is stay out there and hope for the best.
The 6-car Paul Wolfe, he gets the pardon from the Oval Office.
17 laps to go as Johnny Sauter gets together with Matt Kenseth and Dave Blaney to bring out this caution.
'27-year-old Andy Ponstein trying to make his Busch Series debut for 2004, and As we can see, his car is adorned by a stripe. It was an adventure.
This is right here. This is coming up off turn 2. We've talked about it so much, even during this qualifying session. Car just lunges to the outside. Just run out of racetrack.
Well,
that side is pancake.
It is pancake, but what you said earlier that Robbie Gordon said to Paul Menard has been studying films as well as running the computer. But one thing he was very impressed about as far as what was he got in the wall right there was so far at Las Vegas as well as Rockingham, he had not put a scratch on the race car yet, Bell. He just got to Darlington, and welcome to Darlington, Paul.
And he picked it up on that second lap. He goes from 26th quickest to 21st quickest, even with hitting the wall. Yep. I don't know if it was worth those 5 or 6 positions, though. But that's a good run, because he was actually, when practice opened this morning, he was the first car to spin out coming off turn 4.
And he had help.
Spinning is out.
Yep, 16 of Justin Ashburn. Got into that corner, maybe a little quicker than he wanted, got tagged from behind and spun.
That's the second car he's used up this weekend. He crashed one here in practice on Friday and wadded it up pretty good as well.
First caution of the day, it comes at lap 21.
That's good. That's a great time to have a caution. Now you've got time to analyze your car, kind of know what you need to do, make some quick adjustments here on this pit stop, and go back and have a whole lot better race car.
And this is entering turn 3.
Now let's see what happens here. Oh, this looks like it. Hornaday is down under him, and you know, I'm not so sure that.
Looked like Ron Hornaday got a bunch of damage to his right front.
Yeah, he did. You expect people. See, the 16 starts to move down, and Ashburn started to move down, and when he did, Hornaday was there, and of course Truex is right up in the middle of that too. It looks like he may have gotten some damage.
The 8 car.
One lap before all that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the leaders trying to get past some traffic here. That's Derek Cope on the inside.
Yeah,
there's the 16.
Yeah, he just got into the fence down there. He's been up the right side, so he had some handling issues already.
And that's when Casey Kane went to the apron to get around, I believe, the 24 of Mike Harmon.
Now the field is bunched up behind the pace truck, but a lot like in the Nextel Cup race last week at Atlanta, they have decided to leave pit road closed for 1 lap just so they can get the field bunched up, figure out who gets the pardon, the free pass. It just kind of makes things more organized.
Another driver had to speed right through there is Michael Waltrip. Let's watch and listen.
Got a spin in front of you. Back it down, go high. Back it down. No, back it down, back it down, back it down. He's right up against the wall. Got plenty of room down low. He's coming down. Nice job right there.
Nice job by Michael Waltrip. Nice job by his spotter. You know, Darrell, when you're sliding around here,
it's 2 involved. Turn 3.
Donnie Nunenberger in the 77 and the 51 car of Shane C.
I think Neuenberger was already around when Seed got there and sent him the rest of the way along the safer barrier. Second caution of the day comes out with 43 laps completed.
Now, DW, this is where it gets interesting. We've ran about 15 laps since I gave you your last set of tires. We still got over 100 laps to go. I only have 2 sets sitting in these pits.
You better start selling. You better start doing a better selling job than that, buddy. But no, you're right. I think you got to stay out right now. You can't come and get those tires just yet. It's not going to be any fun. The driver's going to whine a lot, but I think you're right. Oh yeah.
Nunenberger in the 77 just loses it, and there's no way for Shane Seed to go. He's trying to go to the high side, but Nunenberger stayed up there. And Matt Yoakum, how about the story on Casey's right front, the 38 car?
Right before that last stop, Casey.
Somebody call a claims adjuster. Mike Wallace has come to grief up in turn number 4 in the Geico Ford. And I think he had some help up there.
Yeah, he did. Looked like the 12 car Fidoa got into the back of him and got him doing that old hospital hop, as we call it, and into the wall she went.
Mike was running up at about the 13th position.
He gets him loose right here, and he's trying to catch it, but he can't. He scrapes the wall. Now he's out of control, and she goes back to the
Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 25 car just getting by.
Let's, Darrell, have a look. See if Mike Wallace doesn't get loose before Fedor gets to him.
There's always that chance. Oh, he's wiggling a little bit right there, caused him to have to get up out of the gas a little bit, and Fedor's got a run on him. I mean, Mike's going to be mad, but really and truly, there's not a whole lot Fedor could do.
Let me tell you who's going to be mad. Joe Nemechek in that 87 car. Remember, he is out of tires. And everybody else, I'm sure, will be coming to pit road to get their 4 tires.
He gambled, and he
lost.
49 laps to go at the track. Some drivers have found too tough to tame this afternoon in Darlington. Spin front straightaway. Donnie Neuenberger goes around in the 77.
Caution's out.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Yeah, 38 car Casey Kane. I'm not sure he was involved in that somehow. He definitely got into the 77.
Neuenberg bounced off the inside wall, and we're under the first caution today. Very early, lap 13. Let's show you what happened once again.
Ashton Lewis in the 46 car, just the approach rate much greater than Donnie Neuenberger, and just gets into the back of him.
Like Neuenberger either didn't get off the corner or something happened in front of him, caused him to check up. The field was all over him.
Boy, Casey Kane in the 38 may have just got against the quarter panel there.
He did it. He got him in the left rear, but I don't think it hurt his car that much. You can see that damage on the left front there.
So first caution is out. Donnie Neuenberger's able to continue. You're watching the NASCAR Busch Series on Fox, presented by Taco Bell. Around off turn 2 as the result of contact. Caution is out second time. We're running 13 lap sessions here. Lap 26, caution number 2.
Well, that's why Harvick said, you know, his car's good on the long run, but he doesn't really want it to be. Sure. You got to be good here in the 10-15 lap spurts.
Now let's see if indeed Robbie Gordon with that spin went a lap down to the leader. We'll double check that and see what happened here to the 55 of Gordon.
You know, it looked like he may have gotten in on the apron under the 59 of Compton and tried to stay off of Compton and spun himself out. That's what it looked like from that angle.
Now we'll show you what happened 2 laps prior to the spin. It's Mike Bliss on the outside. And again, Gordon had to check up because Stacy didn't get off that corner.
There could have been some hard feelings, you know, that carried over into what happened.
At Bristol?
I think so.
Steve.
Well, Mike, listening to Robbie Gordon on the radio, he took complete fault for that. He told his crew, I was on the apron down too much while trying to get around the other drivers. My fault.
Paul Menard in the pits. In the garage, we have Mike Harmon, Donnie Neuenberger, and Randy Briggs in the 85. 2 cautions early in Bristol.
In second, running fast.
Problem in turn 1, the 72 very slow down the front straightaway. Jason White had just come out of the pits. He is out of power, and he's waiting for a break in traffic to get to the bottom, and he may get one Tuesday.
Caution is out.
Yep. Their hand was forced on that one, because to try to get a break in this traffic, not going to happen.
That was a huge break for Jason Leffler, Hermie Sadler, Paul Menard, Stacy Compton. They were just about to go a lap down to our leader. DW run 67 laps. I believe we'll come get that first set of tires.
Not now. Not now.
Okay.
Hold on.
Derek Cope is the beneficiary of the free pass. He had just been lapped in the Advil Ford, so he'll get the go around after pit stops are completed.
I mean, if you just look at the average, we've been running about 20 laps and getting a caution. So I'm not sure that I want to come right now, Larry.
But I bet I do know what will happen. We've got right now 27 cars on the lead lap. Maybe those back 10 will come get their tires. Hope to get out of sequence, which will work out for. Caution's out. Jason Leffler, 00 car. This is his second car of the weekend. He crashed in final practice yesterday. So not a good weekend for this
That was
group.
all because of a lap car that got up in the middle of the field, and there was nowhere here. He couldn't get. They had him going by on the left and the right. bottlenecked them up off of 4 here. Leffler paid the price.
One slow car. There's just not room for a moving chicane here at Bristol.
Well, the fast cars are so equal that makes the slow cars so unequal that they can't keep up or can't get out of the way.
Log jam.
Jason Leffler in the 00, he was sandwiched in between Kenny Wallace and the 23. We had talked about him going to the back of the pack because of loose lugs. Let's ride with Kenny on this. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
Little damage on Wallace's car. Leffler's won't steer. Looks like they're going to hook it up to the wrecker and haul off another one from Bristol Motor Speedway. 4 quick cautions inside of 80 laps. That's the way it goes here at Bristol.
Busch Series racing on Fox, presented by Taco Bell, is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drinking Busch Light. Busch, the proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series. 81 laps so far. Quick recap. Lap 13, Ashton Lewis gets into the back of Donnie Neuenberger in the 77 car. Everybody okay, but out comes the first caution. Biffle leading all the way. Kyle Busch maneuvering with Ron Hornaday. Kyle in the 5 car. Then on lap 26, Robbie Gordon blaming himself for sliding down on the apron, causing another caution. And then moments ago, Jason Leffler with a little help, his 4th caution, and 4 cautions so.
Stacy Cobb, trouble, turn 2. Lewis hard into the fence. Tough break for an unsponsored team.
Well, they're not done either. They're still wrecking.
Johnny Benson.
There goes the Casey Kane, Johnny Benson. All of that chain reaction because they didn't slow down.
Happiest man in town, Greg Biffle.
And he, you got to give Greg a lot of credit, man. He had to be up on the wheel to stay on the lead lap with that car going away the way it was.
7 to go. You still got the best car. I know
But now, Darrell, I just have to believe that those other guys, they've got 100 laps on their tires. I think this is good for Greg Biffle. I think everybody will pit for tires.
I agree.
Right behind the leader, Martin Truex. Here comes Lewis into the corner. And Kenny Wallace may have had a little contact. We'll see. Lewis drives it around to his pit where there is not much to do.
That was a huge break for Mike Wallace as well in that 4 car, the Geico car. He was just about to go a lap down as well.
Yeah, he was putting up a whale of a fight to keep Biffle or keep Truex behind him.
Derek Cope got tangled up with Casey Kane in the aftermath of that one. There's Cope.
That's a minor headache. Might turn into a major one, though. I don't know.
Here comes all the leaders to pit road. We only have 18 cars on the lead lap. I definitely think this will be their final stop for 4 tires and those final adjustments as well. Remember now, under caution, you have to run the entire distance of the backstretch pit and the front stretch pit. Jeannie.
Well, 20 laps ago, Mike Bliss said, hey, this car got real tight in the corners. Caution could not have come at a better time. Not tight in good when you turn every 7 seconds. So he was very pleased to make the stop. 4 tires, air pressure, Matt.
His race cars, a 21 of Kevin Harvick's down and away, a wedge adjustment. His car is still free. Brad is going to make an air pressure adjustment as a number of cars all complete their service to the 60 car today.
Martin Truex on pit road. He really wanted a fresh set of tires. Gas man Bob Tracy has been told just one can only. They're going to try to fix the car even better than it has been running. It's a bit tight coming off the corner onto the throttle. Hey, Truex beats everybody off pit road.
No, he don't beat them off pit road, Dick. He wears them out off pit road. I like that pit selection here, Darrell. I think that's a good spot. You only have to move a little distance to beat everyone off pit road.
It was Johnny Benson and Derek Cope who got together. Casey Kane was close to it. Might not have been quite part of it. There you see Wallace getting away as Lewis got the wall. Kenny Wallace, that is. And as Ashton comes down the track and everybody scrambles, Benson goes around. Matt?
And you almost need to take roll call down here in the 60 pit. A number of crew chiefs all looking at those tires. Jimmy Finnick, what did they tell you?
Oh, I haven't been listening to them. I just come over and check out their tires.
That's what I'm talking about, the tires. How good or how bad do they look?
I don't know. Goodyear, this set here looks pretty good. I think Goodyear's all right here. I don't see no problems with Biffle's tires.
I think your driver will be very happy. He's in our hotel today.
That's a good place for him.
I don't believe I've ever seen as many team members from different teams in one pit before.
But you know, Larry, normally you get tire wear improves as the race goes along.
Ron Hornaday is going to come back in. He is missing a lug nut. So he'll make another stop as you watch the reaction of Martin Truex's crew. 176 laps complete. NASCAR Busch Series racing on Fox, presented by Taco Bell. Casey Kane had a not-so-great clip of the wall in turn 1. Looked like he may have lost a tire, and that's put us under the 6th caution of the day.
Now this is going to be Casey right there, going off into turn 1.
Yeah, it's just he's got a soft tire.
And when you have that, the car goes straight. It does not respond to the steering wheel.
That's a polite way of saying it was flat.
All right, we have 17 cars on the lead lap, and finally Robbie Gordon's going to get the free pass. But the big question is, when they open pit road, will anybody come?
Well, remember, all of them use their 2 sets of tires under caution for the most part, so they can't pit.
Greg Biffle's pitting. We'll see what happens when we come back.
Greg Biffle had a set left, though.
I can tell you that.
Yeah, he gets it.
Oh, he
sideways and knocks him into the outside wall, and Strimmy comes across the racetrack. No caution yet, though.
No caution.
4 laps to go.
Did Michael get into him? Looked like he made it.
Just missed him.
I think he missed him.
Just missed him.
Ooh, baby, he's going to get into Kyle Busch right here, though.
Yikes. Whoa, and around goes Sutter off Greg Biffle's bumper when they had to check up for Kyle Busch and Michael.
All right, this will be the race right here. Remember, no red flag. Martin Truex crosses with 2 to go.
No caution flag. We're still racing. Turn 1.
Benson in trouble.
Got drilled by Strimmy.
Strimmy's car's torn all of his right front.
Caution is out now. Caution is out now. They'll come around with 1 to go. White flag and caution.
It's over. It's over at the moment of caution. Truex, as long as he can come around 1 more lap under caution, is going to go to victory lane.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, if you look atStrimmy's car, I mean, his right front is shoved up under his dashboard.
Well, the Oval Office is going to be a little busy after the race.
There's going to
Johnny
be a
Benson
line.
and his crew chief,
Imagine
John
that.
Wolf, has been called. Summons there.
And Martin Truex Jr. is about to be a first-time winner in the NASCAR Busch Series.
Poor Biffle came out good in that whole mess, finished 6th.
I'm not sure, but I think Mike Bliss in the 20 may have pulled off the racetrack too early.
You're right. He didn't get the checker.
And Michael Waltrip in the 99 almost did the same thing and pulled back out on the racetrack in a hurry.
Well, what about when they freeze the field rule?
Yeah, but you still got to stay on the racetrack, I think, Darrell.
When you freeze the field is required to slow down to pace lap speed, but you must maintain pace lap speed to hold your spot.
And right now, scoring is showing Mike Bliss back in 17th position. You've got to maintain your speed even when the field is frozen.
In his 20th career start,
easy, buddy.
Martin Truex Jr.
There's a wall back there.
Is either going to blow it up or drive it into victory lane 1. He's been second 3 times, and he's Bristol's 5th first-time winner. Richie Gilmore, native of Rochester, New Hampshire, noticed Truex racing in Busch North. Said, here's somebody to keep an eye on. It brought him to the attention.
And he had a great
and Dale Jr.
A great run, too. I mean, the car's clean.
We're going to go through all this sequence of events here with 2 or 3 laps to go. This could take a little bit.
Mike, why don't you explain all this?
Oh, sure. First, Kevin Harvick and David Strimmy get together. Just a little bit.
Now, this is with about 3 laps to go right here.
Strimmy had passed Harvick.
That's off of turn 2. Put Strimmy in the outside wall.
Michael misses him. Johnny Sauter misses him. Here it is again from Harvick's onboard.
Strimmy had just passed Harvick a couple of laps before.
And we stayed green right here.
Right, that wrecks the right front of Strimmy's car. Then watch the 60 of Greg Biffle battling David Green and Johnny Sauter, who gets loose right there. Green had an opening.
Around goes Sauter. By goes Biffle.
That
Biffle had those fresh tires. The caution still was not out.
No, we're still trying to finish this race under green.
Here comes Johnny Benson.
On the outside of Stremme, whose car won't turn.
Won't turn, and where did the one car go wrong? We'll find out momentarily.
It may have been this right here, the payback.
Yes.
And that's why he will be at the Oval
and of
Office
course,
after the race.
He doesn't understand that Stremme's been in a wreck and
it wouldn't turn. David Stremme pulls in, and Benson is going to just have a word with him and just talk it through. The official is in there with him. And now it becomes a little crowded. And Johnny's saying, just wanted to talk to him and see what happened.
Yeah. He has no idea
That's
that his
okay.
right front's stuffed up under the dash, I'm telling you.
Well, Johnny could see that as Stremme pulled in, but likely didn't know it at the time.
This is just a total misunderstanding.
But this is typical Bristol.
But it's Bristol.
Benson and into the wall, had been running in second, third spot right there at the very tail end. John has come to the Busch hauler. He has not been called. He has come voluntarily. What do you want to discuss when you get in there?
Well, obviously the finish there, but you know, I mean, it's too bad. The yellow transportation Dodge is pretty good shape, and yeah, I was working, tried to get second there. I wasn't sure if I was able to. I was just working the track a little bit. It's pretty slippery, but you know, just things happen. I mean, you know, I know that he didn't have a little control over his car, but he needs to slow down. And same thing last week. Got 4 tires side by side with him, run me flat on the apron. So I'm just a little upset, but you know, what do? You know, last lap like that, and he's running in the middle of the racetrack, and then he turns up in the track. You know, I'm sure some of it wasn't voluntary, but still just puts a heavy damper on our weekend. So we had a good run.
And we just got word you have been called to the truck. Steve?
Well, Dick, with Kevin Harvick, who finishes second here today. You won this race a year ago. Kevin, tell us about the wild end of this race.
Yeah, it was pretty wild in. I got into the 32 over there and spun him out. I got off the corner and just got into the back of him and kind of misjudged. Apologized to David Stremme, but good day for this Reese Chevrolet. We were off just a little bit and want to congratulate Dale Earnhardt Jr., Martin Truex. Kid's going to be a heck of a race car driver, and everywhere they go, they run good. So they just beat us today, and we were off just a little bit and wound up finishing second. So just good day for the Reese Chevrolet.
Thanks, Kevin.
Bye, Dick.
Well, the Busch Series trailer, the officials' trailer, is going to be a very busy place. David Stremme has been called there as well. What happened to you at the end?
I don't know what I'm in trouble for. I mean, you know, we passed the 21 car clean, and I guess I shouldn't have, because I knew I'm running around an idiot, and it's something that I took a chance of getting in front of him, and I never touched him. And NASCAR, you know, they've done something to him before, and he still drives the same. But our trim spot Dodge was just trying to keep it in the top 5 there and get a solid points finish, and we ended up becoming a victim. And then the car, you know, was damaged. I'm just trying to finish here, and I apologize, Johnny Benson, but I mean, I was injured, you know, and just trying to finish for points. And he ends up coming up there, and I didn't swerve or nothing like he said. I don't know where he's getting that from, but I mean, you know, I figure it was his decision to go high. I mean, there's nothing I can do. And again, I apologize, but I don't know what he's got a problem for. Last week, it's the last lap, says I run him on apron, and you know, when I looked at my car from Darlington, I had a donut on the left rear quarter. So I'm sure we'll get things resolved. I mean, it's a long season, and what comes around goes around.
Well, you say resolved. Do you mean to say there are paybacks coming?
No, I mean, we're all professional here, so it's just something that it's a shame. I mean, to get up there in that position where we were, just to run up front, we had, you know, good track position all day, and everybody did a good job on the trim spot car. But again, I'm just not stooping to his level.
Corner day struggling.
There's
Robbie
no reason
Gordon.
for it.
Thank you. To Steve Burns.
So far, safe race here at Talladega. 1 pit stop to come before we complete the 312 miles. And trouble on the right front. Donnie Neuenberger.
He had some right front damage. I saw him go by earlier.
Caution is out, so that'll pretty much put the pit strategy out of the equation, because everyone certainly will be able to make it from this pit stop. I think the question will be, we may see some teams try just 2 right side tires, since everybody changed 4 tires on that last pit stop.
The free pass will go to Kim Crosby, number 51, one of 2 women drivers in the race. Tina Gordon is the other. That's the first car 1 lap down at the moment of caution.
Well, which weekend
get that pit stop out of the way.
And Donnie Neuenberger has put us under caution for the 3rd time today. It'll be 17 laps to go, and they come.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Around goes the 38, the 4, the 1, the 33.
Look out pit road, look out pit road, look out pit road.
The 46, the 95,
Johnny
and the
Benson.
12.
You know, that's a place we've not normally seen the big wreck break out, right in the middle of the trioval.
I believe with this package that through the trioval, when people get under you, it just loosens you up just enough to get you sideways.
Mike Bliss, Casey Kane climbs out of his car. He's okay. That's the car that ended up against the pit wall. Tim Fedewa's car still wrecked in the grass. At lap 100, 17 laps to go. Fedewa has put the window net down, so he'll be able to climb out. There's Ashton Lewis with damage to the rear. And the right front down, Dick Berggren.
With Casey Kane just got out of his car, what was it like out there?
It was fun all day. It was
no, I mean just now.
Racing. It was great racing, but I don't know. I saw a couple cars hit, and I knew I was going to be involved in it. And it's too bad. We had a good car. I got back there a little bit. I was trying to work my way back through, but tough day.
We're glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Thanks, Casey.
Car's done. That one along with Tim Fedewa and Mike Bliss. Those cars look like they're finished for the day. There's damage to the rear of the 46 of Ashton Lewis, among others. Let's see what happened here. Coming into the trioval to complete lap 100. Bottom of your screen.
Like Mike Wallace got a little bit loose right there like you talked, Darrell, and then came back up into the car that was on the outside
Yeah,
of it.
he bounced off a biffle, and when he did, there was a car under him, and they got together, and then away they went.
Of course, half the field's behind him here shortly after a restart.
Boy, everybody jacked up from behind him.
Tell you what, the trioval here, I know people, you know, you just don't realize how you're going 190 mile an hour through a trioval that's got 14 degrees of banking. Can suck you around in a hurry.
This would be looking from like pit road.
Casey Kane turned around.
Typical Talladega wreck. Yeah. 2 cars get together, 12, 13 cars end up being victim.
Yeah, Benson slammed up into the wall, and Bliss.
Well, watch that 38 car go all the way across pit lane and slam right into it right there.
In real time. Let's have another look.
And in real time, that means at 190 plus miles per hour. That was riding with Ashton Lewis. Looked like at one point he almost made it through the wreck.
Man, those are hard licks.
Into the safer barrier. And driving away. Jason Keller.
He was one of the lucky ones. He made it through. Remember, Jason was one of the ones at the beginning of the race had the strategy of staying behind everybody to try to see if they could get out of the big wreck.
Here are the cars involved in the wreck. Benson, Wallace, Fedewa, Bliss, Grissom, and Kane. There's Kane's car. Lewis, Compton, and David Keith. Now, more than half of those cars were able to drive away. I'm going to add Paul Menard to that list, the 33 who spun down to the grass off of Benson. Now watch the 38 of Kane. He's up against the outside wall, just to show you how much speed they're carrying through here. Misses everybody. Comes to rest against the inside wall. From Dale Jr.'s pit, they see it unfold.
That's why I always preach to my guys, no matter where you're at, never turn your back on that racetrack.
Johnny Benson's car under repair. Dick Berggren.
And what they're trying to do here, Mike, is just get this car fixed enough so that Benson can make one more lap. That would give him additional points over those cars which cannot make that additional lap. So if they can get this thing to run and just make a lap, it's going to be worth some championship points to Benson, and that is the point of what they're doing.
Yeah, and he just had moved in the top 10 in points after the Nashville race a couple of weeks ago. He was in 10th.
We'll be back to sort things out and get restarted. We still have 15 laps to go here in Talladega. Fourth caution of the day. It's for the big one in the trioval. You're watching NASCAR on Fox. Welcome back to Talladega, where Martin Truex Jr. is the leader. We are inside of 15 laps to go, working the fourth caution of the day for a multi-car crash in the trioval. Jeannie?
And standing by Mike Bliss. I guess for you it was just wrong place, wrong time. You're telling me you just saw smoke, and then before you know it, you're standing here.
Yeah, we, the Rockwell Animation Chevrolet was good, just like everybody else. We could go to the front, go to the rear, and go back to the front. But I was just kind of, you knew it was going to start getting hairy because it was time to go, and we were starting to move up. And I saw coming through the trioval smoke, and a car turned, and I let off the gas, and I got hit in the rear. And you just, the whole race has been pretty clean. We were all just kind of behaving, and then it was time to go, and you kind of didn't expect it, but you're hoping it wouldn't happen, but it happened.
Disappointing finish, but I'm glad to see you're doing okay.
All right, thanks.
Well, Jeannie, there was reason not to expect it. We've had several looks at the different replays trying to find the cause of this incident, Darrell.
If you watch this car right down here at the bottom of the screen, this purple car, when we come through the trioval, you see these guys back here 1, 2, 3 wide already. Mike Wallace is starting to say, okay, I got this guy down here in my way, and the hole is closing. As this car comes up, Mike runs out of room, and he gets into the side of Biffle, bounces off of Biffle into the purple car, and that's what caused the wreck.
That's Jimmy Kitchens, who was 5 laps down at the time, trying to hold the bottom of the racetrack down on the inside, which is where the lap cars are supposed to be, but not getting quite far enough to the inside. And what a mess. Interested spectator up here joining us in the booth after a trip next door with the NASCAR folks is Jimmy Spencer.
It's only fair. I got Larry and Jeff. They gang up on me all the time. I need a driver buddy. I got a driver buddy.
I'm here, DW. You know that. I've watched so many times. Hammond, he never lets you go. And this guy picks on you every time he can. Mike, you're the only guy. You try to keep peace. I know that.
Well, you know what's fun about picking on Hammond is normally you don't even know we're picking on him. So.
I won't go there.
But Jimmy, it's good to see you back. You ran the Daytona 500 and sat at home, watched us on Fox for a few weeks, but now you're back in that 4-car.
Yeah, and you guys do a great job. I will say that sitting home watching it, but it is. It's good to be back with Morgan McClure. We got a pretty good car for tomorrow, and we don't have a sponsor yet. We're trying to find a sponsor, but we didn't qualify quite as well as we wanted to, top 25, which isn't too bad. The car's running really good in the draft, and what a race today. I mean, incredible.
I like this Aero package. Now, you've driven it more than I have, but this seemed to be the best package. I'd like to see this moved over to the Cup cars. What do you think?
Darrell, watching today, racing this morning in happy hour and stuff, a lot of guys are forcing the issue, forcing to cut each other off. Every one of us has to do what we have to do to try to stay ahead of somebody.
And Jimmy, has this become the new danger spot here?
Well, like Darrell and I were talking before, that is the worst part on this racetrack because the car gets real loose, Mike. The car gets real free. And like he said, Mike Wallace was just trying to give enough room. And I blame the 39 car. I mean, he should have been down. He's laps down. He should say, guys, race. And that's what caused that accident. That's what marred this race. Luckily, nobody got hurt. We're going to still see a great finish. But all in all, I think this package, Darrell, is awesome. I think that NASCAR needs to look at this package for the Cup side.
I agree.
The top 4 single file, they put about 5 car links back there to that group that's 3 and 4 wide.
Around goes Boyer off the bumper of Hamilton, who takes another car into the wall with him.
Now, caution is out. The field is frozen with 2 to go. As long as they maintain caution speed up there, Martin Truex Jr. will be the winner of this race. The field is frozen right now at the point of caution.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. got into the back of the car that went sideways and spinning. And here is Jr. pushing Martin Truex. He may push him all the way to victory lane.
Martin thinks he's got a flat tire. Dale Jr. got him jacked up off the ground.
But one thing for sure, the DEI organization, they have an awesome super speedway program. You can't take nothing away from them.
We'll check on Clint Boyer. Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Tony Raines got right into the middle of that. He was having a top 12 run when he got caught up.
Slow it down, just slow it down. They can't pass you.
Boyer got away.
He got away. He slid all the way down on the inside there, but he got away. The white and the yellow.
White flag. The red flag rule was 5 to go.
Which means that they would not restart the race. See, Hamilton got below the line, and as he came back up, he got into Boyer. And there's Raines in the wall.
Mike Wallace is still going to end up with a 12th place finish, it looks like, even after being involved in that first accident.
Grissom's involved in that in the 36, and Tracy Hines in the 6.
When I watch the 25 car, though, as we watch it again, let's watch this.
That's the red car, bottom of your screen.
3 wide in front of him.
This is through the trioval.
Michael in the middle. He gets a run down underneath the Boyer. He's below the yellow line, and that's the whole point of the yellow line, is to keep us from doing that right there.
I tell you, the saving grace on the 21 car, every time he goes backwards, just look, those roof flaps deploy.
Now watch the first red car in line on the inside. There he goes.
He could have used better judgment there.
Yeah, I mean, there was no room.
Oh, and he took himself out in 3 or 4 more.
Yep, he took Tony Raines, the car behind him in the wall. Awful. Tracy Hines sideways, the number 6.
Yeah, the Ragu.
And Steve Grissom.
All the guys that you really pull for to have good finishes, they get taken out on the last lap.
Ride with Jay Keller. Ron Hornaday's crew. See, Hamilton Jr. turned sideways and up in the wall because when he lost his forward momentum after getting Boyer, he got hit by Nemechek.
And of course, even though it looks like Ron Hornaday will, caution is out.
2-car wreck. Aaron Fike is one of them. Mike Wallace is number 4, is the other. The left front on Fike's car, minus all of its sheet metal. The Ollie's Bargain Outlet Dodge. They're going to have a few remnants from Monday's sale. And trouble on the Geico car as Mike Wallace gets on the horn to a claims adjuster. We'll be back to Nashville after this. Both Aaron Fike and Mike Wallace are okay. Walk to the ambulance under their own power. Pit stops, Jeff Hammond.
Right now, the 25 car, Bobby Hamilton, has already changed. Right side tire is going to freeze car up just a little bit, and they're down and away. While Casey Kane, almost a near one right there on pit road. We're down to you, Matt.
Point leader David Green in, service almost complete. A little bit of trouble on the left front. Crew Chief Jason Ratcliffe with the lugs, trying to get the lugs on. Losing a lot of time. He's down and away. Slight air pressure adjustment. He was tight.
I tell you what, a good stop for Stacy Compton, that 59 car. They came in third, went out third. It's one of those days when everything's going good, it all goes good.
This could be their day. First caution of the day for Mike Wallace and Aaron Fike. They are okay after crashing in turn number 4. Welcome back to Nashville. Bobby Hamilton Jr. remains the leader after caution flag pit stops, but exiting his pit, Hamilton had 2 things to be concerned about. The first, as he's coming out of the pits and exiting, he's spinning the wheels, spinning the rear tires. This transition between concrete and asphalt, if you get this right rear out here on the asphalt with the left rear on concrete and they're still spinning, that's a good way to break an axle or a rear end.
Yes, it is. And then the other close call right here is you see him exit the pits. You're going to see Casey Atwood in the 14 car go into his pits. A very near miss for our leader. Is that Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s fault? Absolutely not. It's normally on the spotter's shoulders, Jeff Hammond, to talk him in and out of those pits.
It really is, Larry, and I was watching Harold Holley at that time because I was down there very close. Could not believe how quickly he came out of the pits and cut right up in front of almost the 14, in behind the 14 car, as close as you'd want to get to having a really bad wreck here on the pit road.
Ashton Lewis Jr. will get the free pass and be back on the lead lap. Did I mention Derek Cope has come back into the race after a long stay in the garage area. Working the third caution of the afternoon. Mike Joy with Larry McReynolds. Darrell Waltrip has the weekend off. Had a nice dinner with him in Franklin with he and Stevie last evening. But Bobby Hamilton Jr., who's another of the hometown Nashville heroes, had a problem up in turn 4. You'll see him come in from the right side of the screen. Up there and into the wall. Jeff Hammond, what happened to Bobby Jr.?
Mike, his days continue to get kind of bad as far as Bobby Hamlin's concerned. A right rear tire going down forced Bobby up the racetrack, and he brushed the wall with the right front also. But fortunately for he and well as crew chief Harold Holly, the car is not done for the day. They worked on it, brought it back down pit road several times, had to put a bungee cord to help hold the left side and the right side tailpipes up because they would have been broken loose. But they feel like, hey, we can still get a good finish out of the day and keep it close, according to Harold Holly. Always trying to pump his driver up. And another crew chief down there on pit road that doesn't need to pump his driver up happens to be Ricky Byers, who's the crew chief on the 21 car, our leader, Clint Boyer.
And challenge Ron Hornaday.
Patience, never mind. Boyer takes it 3 wide.
But look at the leader right there that was leading the race, Ron Hornaday. He gets tapped from behind right in front of the entire field.
Michael Waltrip got him. And here comes everybody. Now, Hornaday was leading the pack, but not leading the race.
He was trying to stay on the lead lap, the tail on the lead lap. So was Robbie Gordon. In my book, those guys were not showing a lot of patience right there, though.
Nobody was.
Now, Robbie Gordon at 55, he will get back on the lead lap because he was in front of the leader, but there you see all the damage to Michael Waltrip in the 99 car. He was running in the second position.
Yeah, he got into Hornaday, whose car was spun and stopped. And the 10 car also has a lot of damage, Gus Wasson.
As we always say, cautions breed cautions, especially when guys are trying to stay on the lead lap, trying to get back on the lead lap.
Wasson's able to get away with what looks like minimal damage. He replaced Jason Schuler for this weekend's race in the number 10. Michael Waltrip, after coming all the way up into the top 3, trouble on the left front because he could not avoid Hornaday. Let's see what happened here coming out of turn 4, Larry.
Yeah, this should be right in the middle of turn 3 and 4 as they head off into the corner. Take a look at it right here. There you see Robbie Gordon at 55 had already got in the back of Ron Hornaday in the 2 car. There you see him sideways. Johnny Sauter going to the bottom. There's our leader, Clint Boyer. And there's where Michael Waltrip in the 99 just wasn't sure which way he needed to go with cars on the high side, low side. Gets a lot of damage to the left front.
Tough break to put out the 4th caution of the afternoon here in Nashville. Michael Waltrip making repairs as he was unable to avoid a spinning Ron Hornaday. On the first lap of green after the restart.
Clint Boyer, our leader in the 21, made it through. Michael Waltrip did not make it through, running in second.
Here's the Taco Bell cam.
Best thing to do is just almost stop. Then you know you won't get in trouble.
We saw Hornaday trying to smoke the tires and turn around. Let's mention that Johnny Sauter and Robbie Gordon were ahead of the leader when that caution flew, so they're back on the lead lap. Jeff?
Guys down there in Michael Waltrip's pit, he came in, had pretty severe damage to that left front tire and fender area. And more importantly, NASCAR as well as Goodyear worked with the team to allow them to change the left front tire because you remember, they were out of tires. They had no more new tires they could put on, so they had to get an approval. The damage to the left front was severe enough. They said change it for safety's sake. They put a new tire back on and they've got Michael Waltrip back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, Jeff, I talked to Brian Dehart, competition director for the Busch Series this morning to get an understanding about that. And what he told me is if the wheel is damaged, where they think it's a safety problem, they will let you change it, or if the tire is completely flat. What I was questioning was Casey Atwood last week at Texas spun and flat spotted the tires. Brian said that does not justify it. Has to be a wheel that's not safe or a tire that's completely flat. Then you can only change that particular tire.
Now, as the field came around and got the caution, Kyle, I guess the other question is, as he keeps wondering and worrying about that tire, will he fit?
I believe he is. I believe he's coming to pit road right now, or he's either slowing down a bunch right now. Yeah, he's in trouble. Look at him weaving back and forth. He's got a problem.
And he decided not to come in, and that may cost him. There goes the right rear. It's gone. It took some of the fender with it.
And there's the caution. There's the caution that Clint Boyer in the 21 probably did not want to see.
Robbie Gordon needed a caution. He just didn't need it for it to be him. Now with the inner liner, that car will still go around the racetrack. but he tore up a right rear.
Now, I think, and again, it's hard to keep up with, so bear with me here. I don't think Robbie Gordon has any sets of tires left under caution. The only one he'll be able to change is that one tire that's in trouble. Now, we're pretty sure that Clint Boyer has a set of tires left. Kyle Busch and Casey Kane, we know, does not have a set of tires left. And right now, we're showing 7 cars on the lead lap. Mike Bliss in the 20 should get the free pass.
So Robbie Gordon will roll around on the skins. He thought he had a tire problem. There you see the chunking at the start-finish line and that carcass come off. He was down low on the racetrack, Larry, and I thought he was going to bring it to pit road. If he is point racing, that'd be big picture racing. And maybe the tire was down so low he couldn't make the turn onto pit road.
But what a break, Mike, because there's only 8 cars on the lead lap, and he's still going to be on the lead lap, so this will be a break for him. So if he can just nurse this thing home for about 8 or 9 laps, he'll still finish on the lead lap in the top 10.
You don't often see somebody's bad luck, yours, turn out to be somebody's good luck, yours.
Exactly.
All right, Jeff, what are we going to see when they open pit road?
Well, right now, the 21 car, I think, is pretty much decided. They're going to come get some time.
He's out of harm's way. Here they come, and Kyle Busch is going to try to hold him off. Boyer taps.
Oh, they're sideways. Look at Robbie Gordon on the high side. He gets all 4 cars, all the leaders.
Caution comes out as Michael Waltrip makes the pass.
Now remember, the field was frozen when the caution came out, but the cars that caused the caution, they are not able to stay on the lead lap or get the free pass.
Larry, as I saw it looking across the track, at the moment the starter lifted the caution flag, Michael Waltrip had passed those cars to take the lead. And a fellow who was down in the mouth all weekend about his Busch program just not coming together is probably going to go to victory lane. They are still crashing down the front straightaway as they come to the line.
Yeah, Michael started back in 22nd position. We did get the white flag.
I've seen a lot of wild finishes and not too many to match up to this one.
And you know, there was a point this race did not have that look about it about halfway through, but who would have ever thought we'd have 4 cars going for the lead with a lap and a half to go on the backstretch.
And when Kyle Busch got sideways, they all wadded up, and Michael Waltrip was just far enough behind them to be able to clear them on the outside.
And I think the other car that got by was Johnny Sauter in the 27 right now. Again, scoring. We'll have to check scoring, but he's showing in 2nd place right now.
You know, Larry, I think everybody that was involved in the backstretch got away and came on around.
Yeah, everyone is going. It's like they were just locked up back there.
Oh.
And the checkered flag is out.
And it's going to wave over Michael Waltrip, who unofficially is our winner. We will have to await a review from NASCAR of the scoring at the time the field was frozen under caution. But it's our belief that Michael Waltrip had cleared those cars and will go to victory lane. Oh, let's sort this one out.
Now they're coming off turn 2. This was with about a lap and a half to go. You saw the 21 just barely got in the back of the 5, and then it looked like Johnny Benson got in the back of the 21 and just kind of sucked in Robbie Gordon in the 55 car. Chain reaction.
There's the first contact. Boyer into Busch. Benson and Gordon into Boyer, and the caution comes out right about there as Michael Waltrip had made the pass, and we believe Johnny Sauter had gone to 2nd. Larry, it's 4 guys trying to win it.
Yeah, I mean, this was with a lap and a half to go, and there's guys trying to win their first Busch Series race right there. Robbie Gordon and Clint Boyer in the 21, and Johnny Benson, who has not been to victory lane in a long time in the Busch Series.
Let's ride with Michael Waltrip. Right now, he's 5th.
He knew something was happening. You could hear him get out of the throttle even before anyone touched anyone. He knew it was fixing to break loose.
And you saw the caution light, and when it came on, Michael had cleared those cars. Now, even so, Larry, as you pointed out, to be able to retain your position under caution, even though the field is frozen, you must be able to maintain pace car speed, and those cars spinning through the grass weren't doing that.
And I think that's going to be the key with Michael being the winner and Johnny Sauter in 2nd, is Robbie Gordon, Clint Boyer, Kyle Busch, and Johnny Benson. They're the ones that brought the caution out. I think that's going to be the key.
Now, we saw last week with Joe Nemechek when he spun and brought out a caution, grabbed a gear, and kept going in 17th. It doesn't mean you have to go all the way to the back, but you have to be able to maintain pace. Even so, I believe, from looking at the starter stand and the accident directly across the track, that Michael had completed the pass of those cars when we saw that caution light flash. NASCAR confirms it. Michael Waltrip has his 11th career victory in the NASCAR Busch Series, 11 wins in 206 career starts, his first win since Bristol and August. Here we are in Nashville, and a Waltrip goes to victory lane.
I wonder if he'll stand on his head again today in victory lane.
Well, he won't pop out the roof hatch, but I'll bet if it had one, he would.
Yes, he would.
Jeff, you remember talking to Michael this morning, and he looked like his dog was sick. I mean, he was just hung down and brung down, and he just didn't feel like he was getting this Busch program together like he wanted.
No, Mike, you're exactly right. And but the thing is, right now, I think the key to Michael's success today was the fact he was not quitting. He was going to keep working and just keep working very diligently to try to get this program turned around. And this is exactly what you need, is a shot in the arm. He was there, he was in contention, and he took advantage of what happened.
And you got to give credit, Jeff and Mike, to Jerry Baxter and that crew. Remember, he had that left front fender tore up from that wreck down in turn 3 and 4 with about 50 laps to go. They didn't give up either.
For Michael Waltrip, being out of the lead pack was the key to victory. Talk about a rejuvenating moment.
Absolutely.
There he sits in victory lane. The unofficial finish from scoring shows Robbie Gordon coming across the line in 3rd, Clint Boyer 4th, Kyle Busch in 5th, Casey Kane, Johnny Benson, and Mike Bliss as the lead lap cars, but we'll await confirmation on that. What we do know for sure is that Matt Yoakum's about to greet our winner, Michael Waltrip.
The only trouble he's having is trying to get the helmet hung up inside the race car. He's getting the Hans device off. And Michael Waltrip, his first start here at the Nashville Super Speedway. And he gets the big-time trophy, Gibson guitar. Where do we even begin, Michael?
Let's go back to just Kansas City last fall when we had that race wired. And had it get away from us, you know, with just a few laps to go. I've lost a lot of Busch races that I thought I should have won or could have won, maybe would have won. But today we just were lucky for sure. I knew the only chance I had was to try to go down the wall and hope they all got in the wreck. And when I came out the other end and didn't see anybody in front of me, I said, well, that worked out like it was supposed to. I want to thank Aaron's, where we're leasing quality furnitures and appliances for less. That's important for me to say. They're my sponsor. And also thank my wife for letting me come here on Easter weekend and race. I love you, Buff. Hi, Mace. Hi, girls. Kate. I hope everybody's doing well. In the Bahamas, that's where they're at. I know they're doing well. Old Mike's stuck here in Nashville, but
Playing a guitar.
My pal, Jerry Baxter.
His first win together with you.
It is his first win, and he deserves another. You know, he deserves lots of wins. He's done a great job being my crew chief. I'm real proud of him. Also want to thank Bobby Kennedy. He isn't with us anymore. He went to work for my brother, but Bobby really has helped the transition with me and Jerry and this team. So Chevrolet, they've been a great friend of mine over the last 4 or 5 years, and we've gotten them a few wins. I want to thank them as well.
Now, you stood on your head at Bristol. Anything big here? That's the last time we were together in victory lane.
No, I just want to thank God for a safe day for me and for a successful day. And tomorrow is the biggest day in the Christian faith, Easter. And so Jesus helps me live my life, and I think he could help you too. And I think I'll play my guitar.
Beautiful. That's Paul Gibson guitar to Jeff Hammond.
Well, right now we're down with Clinton Boyer. Clint, awesome run today, but tell us what happened on that last lap.
Yeah, it was an awesome run for this 21 Reese's car. You know, it kind of bounced me back from what happened last week in my first race out. Had a awesome car all day long. Didn't have a good qualifying effort, but we made up for it in the race, which is what I was wanting to do. And it just comes down to we didn't need that last caution at the end. I mean, that's all there is to it. Had to come in and take tires. The car really wasn't the best on a short run. The 5 car got around me there. He got into me when he got around me, and it's just hard racing it, Wouldn't expect anything different from him, or anybody. So we got in down there, and we were both racing hard, and he kind of got in, washed up a little bit, and I got into him, and I tried to back off and give him some room to get it gathered up, and I just got into, somebody hit me from behind, and everything broke loose from there. So didn't mean it, you know, cause any hard feelings. It's just, as far as I'm concerned, hard racing.
Well, I wish I could say what I need to ask you second, because I know it really hurts to run as good as you did all day long and lose it that close to the end.
Yeah, it does. This 21 Reese's car, you know, I have a Kevin Harvick as a teammate and Richard Childers as an owner, and this Rick Byers as a crew chief. It's something else for a rookie. It's a dream come true, I'll tell you that.
Well, guys, right now, he's kind of like putting that smile on, but he's a pretty upset young man.
Well, Jeff, cheer him up. I mean, how many days can you wreck and finish 4th? That's where he is on the board right now.
A top 5
That's not
finish.
a bad result. It's a top 5.
A top 5 in your second Busch Series start. Not a bad day. And he will go to victory lane, trust me.
It'll happen. Michael Waltrip's there to celebrate, playing that Sam Bass designed Gibson guitar. The trophy here at Nashville Superspeedway. We'll sort more of this out in a minute.
We need to bring everybody up to speed on. We talked about 47 cars being here. Realistically, there is 48 cars here. Because, we see Dion Ciccarelli getting out of control down in turn 1 and 2, and that was on his first lap. And he is a car that would have to qualify in the top 38. He has no provisionals, so I'm going to say, even with another lap to go, I think his day has come to a close. But what I was going to say is Derek Cope did obviously start practice, the first practice in the 49 car. So that means that car has actually made an attempt. An attempt basically means that you put your car through inspection. Now, of course, Derek, as you mentioned, Steve, is going to be kept overnight for observation at a local hospital. They have unloaded their backup car, and Josh Richardson, which is an approved driver, will race that car tonight. They actually don't have to make an attempt on the racetrack to qualify, and they are eligible for a provisional. Of course, Dion Ciccarelli knows he has to qualify for this race, so he's going to try to attempt this second lap. And this is what happened. He gets down in turn 1 and 2. The car just gets loose with him right before the center of the corner. It just comes around with him. You talk about, we've heard so many of our drivers that we've interviewed talk about how these cars are loose. He overcorrected right there. Of course, the car comes around with him.
A lot of pressure on Dion now to get in the show. As Mike Joy likes to say, go or go home.
That's it, and that pretty much is what Dion is on right now in this 84 car.
Works his way through 3, coming off of turn 4, headed to the checkered flag.
His fastest lap in practice was a 35.87. That would not be near quick enough to make the top 38. And he runs a 36.36, so I would say Dion will be headed to the house as he's the slowest of the 42 cars that is qualified here at Gateway.
I believe that's Randy Briggs.
And he's another car that will have to qualify in the top 38, not eligible for a provisional. And he was only 41st quickest, and he has a problem leaving pit road. You know, these tires, when they're cold, they just don't have much grip to them. So he's not even, his warm-up lap has not even got off to a good start. Need to mention, it looks like also Shane Wallace in the 63 car, who right now is 42nd, not eligible for a provisional. So I think he will join the 53 car, the 84 car, and the 90 car as cars that will not make this race. And it looks like, unless things turn around for Randy Briggs, an 85 car, he will be the 5th car that goes home.
And it doesn't sound good for Briggs as he spins out exiting pit road.
And he will be the last car to qualify. Don't look like he can even get it going.
Let's go to Dick Berggren, who's with our pole sitter.
And that's Martin Truex. He's hurrying to the drivers' meeting right now. They are going to start it on time. Qualifying has run long. Question for you. I mean, everybody says, I've got a great team, we've got great cars, we've got great engines, but yours are better than the rest. What is it that you guys have that the others wish they had, Martin?
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything, you know. I've got everything I need at Chance 2. Great cars, great bodies, engines, crew chief, everybody on this team is incredible. Sponsors, you know, Taco Bell this weekend. This will be their last race with us this year, and hopefully we win them their second race. Just things going real good right now. We tested out here and unloaded right off the trailer real fast, and you know, just made some good changes through practice. I can't wait till lights come on. It'll be even better then, I think.
Indeed. Martin Truex wins his 3rd pole of the year. He's going to have to hustle to the drivers' meeting. If he's late, he'll start absolutely at the back end of the pack.
Well, I think we can officially say he has the pole now because Randy Briggs, an 85 car, we're here, and he has a transmission problem. So his qualifying attempt has come to a close as he gets a push back to the garage area. So he will join the 53 car, the 63 car, the 84 car, and the 90 car is the 5 cars that will not race tonight in this 250-mile race.
Martin Truex Jr. captures his 3rd pole of the 2004 season. He'll start alongside David Green. We'll be right back.
3 and 4, caution is out.
Several cars in the wall. Lap 3, first caution out. Clint Boyer in the Richard Childress Racing number 21. Heavy damage to the rear end of that car.
Yeah, this is the same car that he had at Nashville where he was so strong. And look at Billy Parker, Rusty Wallace's car, the 66. A lot of damage to that race car. These guys were back there running somewhere about mid-pack. As you say, a lot of damage to the rear of that car. Of course, what they'll try to do is try to stay on the lead lap, see if they can repair these cars.
Let's take a look at the replay. Parker spinning at the bottom of your screen up into the wall. Hard to see how it actually began.
And what we're hearing on Clint Boyer is he just didn't get a good start. He started 12th, and he already was back to 25th on the first lap.
So we're under caution for the first time this evening here at Gateway International. You're watching Busch Series Racing on FX. Ooh. And back at Gateway International, we're under caution. And there's a unique way to say Happy Mother's Day on a gas can.
It's a good way to get your gas can on television.
Let's watch the very beginning of the race, the green flag, perhaps get some perspective. Larry, Clint Boyer to the left
there
of your
you see
screen.
him right there. Yeah, he started back in 12th. We had just talked before break where he had fell back to 25th. He just didn't get a start. It's almost like he maybe missed a shift, spun the rear tires or something. Now this is what happened going over to turn 3, and it looks like that Billy Parker in the 66 just maybe clipped the grass, and then everyone else was a victim. He got into Paul Menard, the 33 car, who ended up getting into Clint Boyer, and then Travis Geisler comes along, and he just gets into Billy Parker as well in the 36 car.
Now this is the start of the race on board with Kenny Wallace.
And for some reason, the 21 car Clint Boyer just did not get going.
There's the damage to Clint Boyer.
And as we always talk about every week, that's a pretty critical area, even at a 1.25 mile racetrack where that rear spoiler is bolted onto that deck lid. You want to make sure you don't get it down too low, but the biggest thing they have to make sure, NASCAR is going to make sure that deck lid is good and secure.
Billy Catfish Parker has gone to the garage. We're under caution here at Gateway International. We'll be back with a restart here on FX right after this. This is the 8th time the NASCAR Busch Series has raced at Gateway. In your Stacker 2 track fact, the race has never been won by the pole sitter. However, Martin Truex Jr. has led every lap tonight from the pole. Under caution for the 2nd time, the 36 car driven by Travis. Green flag.
Now you see Greg Biffle in the 60 car right there on the inside. He's almost 2 laps down right there. In fact, when he's side by side, he is 2 laps down, fighting to try to get one of them back. We got trouble here on the front straightaway. Mark Green in the 28 car up against the inside wall. Caution is out. Now what NASCAR will have to determine is when the field was frozen, the minute that yellow flag came out, was Greg Biffle, the 60 car, indeed in front of Ron Hornaday, our leader, and will he get one of those laps back? Remember, the minute the caution lights come on or the caution flag comes out, the field is frozen, the entire field. There's no more racing. So NASCAR will have to make a determination whether he was just a little bit in front of Ron Hornaday. He'll be only 1 lap down.
All right, here's your green flag. Trouble in the back.
It looks like everybody checked up and someone just got into the back of Mark Green, the 28 car, and just turned him around. Looks like someone had some trouble up in the field. There you see a lot of cars. Possibly Michael Waltrip in the 99 didn't get going, and things started stacking up behind him.
And Mark Green makes heavy contact with the inside retaining wall. fourth caution of the evening. We couldn't even get restarted on that one, Larry Mack.
I'm anxious to see. I know NASCAR is working diligently right now to try to determine if indeed Greg Biffle was in front of the 2-car Ron Hornaday. So will he just be 1 lap down now? Because I'm going to tell you what, when that 60 car gets back on the lead lap, you better look out.
We're on board with Michael Waltrip for another replay. Here's the restart. You're looking at David Stremmy's car.
It looks like Michael just didn't get going. You see David Stremme beating the back of his car. For some reason, I don't know if he spun the rear tires, didn't really sound like it, but he just didn't get going on the restart. And of course, Mark Green in the 28 car, making his second Busch Series start of 2004, is somewhat a victim. They just start stacking up behind all this group.
Let's go on board now with David Stremme, Larry Mack.
Of course, the signal for these guys to go is when the flagman puts the green flag out. And Michael just didn't get going. You saw David Stremme riding with him, beating on his rear bumper, finally went to the outside. There you saw the caution light come back on. That was when Mark Green hit the inside wall. 0, Jeremy Mayfield. We got a crash right here. Hermie Sadler in the 02. Caution is out.
Yeah, cars are going through the infield there. The 72 car. Randy McDonald had to take evasive action through the grass.
So Hermie Sadler.
Out. You got plenty of time right here.
Sadler runs out of racetrack at turn 4.
The track gets really, you just come off that corner, as we're talking about, you got so much speed, you're carrying speed out of that corner wide open, and then you just run out of racetrack, and the wall just sticks out there just enough that you clip it.
A lot of damage to Hermie's car.
Something to work on your toe in also, Ernie.
This is over in turn 4.
Yeah, he just gets up there and gets too high. I don't think he had any help from anybody. I don't see anybody around him.
It's like he clipped the rear of the car, went down the racetrack, and when he corrected it, went back up and caught with the right front.
Hermie Sadler brings out the race's first caution at lap 3. You're watching NASCAR on Fox. Lane. Stan Boyd goes spinning.
Oh, he was out of
the wall.
Well, he was out of control when he came off the racetrack out of control.
Caution is out. Caution is out. Of course, this will be a huge break for Matt Kenseth in that 17 car. He'll be able to go back around. He'll be at the back of the lead lap cars.
And so once again, they take something bad and turn it into something good. He does it all the time.
2 drivers that this does not benefit are Mike Wallace and David Green. They had both stayed out and were among the last cars to pit in that green flag sequence, and as their lap times dropped off by the time they got back onto the speedway, they'd been lapped.
But we'll have to check. Mike Wallace may get the pardon. He may get the free pass in the 4 car, get back on the lead lap. We'll have to check NASCAR scoring.
Looks as if there may have been an injury on pit road as Stan Boyd's car came sliding down through the first 3 pit stalls.
Yeah, I looked up and the car was just out of control as it came off the racetrack, as if he exited the track down on the pit lane way too fast, and when he did, he just started spinning.
And wondering now, is the driver okay?
Sliding along pit road there, and the crews are scrambling. There's a tire laying there, and man, that's just like a bullet.
Takes 2 guys down.
Holy cow, look at that.
Boy, and thank goodness those crewmen are required to wear helmets, or that could have been a lot more severe.
Tire weighs about, what, Larry, 75 pounds with the inner liner?
Yeah,
wheel.
at least that much, 70, 75 pounds.
So at least one crew member is receiving assistance at the scene. We'll pass along any details as we get them. But caution is out for the 3rd time today for Stan Boyd's crash on pit road, and that car has not moved from where it stopped there. So with the field under caution, we'll take a break from Fontana, where Greg Biffle leads Michael Waltrip, Tony Stewart, Bobby Hamilton Jr., and Kevin Harvick.
Number 94, Eddie Beer took the wild ride. Kept it off the safer barriers, but some other drivers weren't as lucky, like Butch Jarvis. And then another bear, Chad, tested the safety barrier. The biggest hit belonged to NASCAR West champion Scott Lynch and Tommy Baldwin's number 6. For more, let's go to Speed. Back in Richmond, Virginia, issues for number 90, Chad Bear, Larry Mack, again.
Yeah, and this happened on his get up to speed lap in turn 3 and 4, but he had a little episode in practice earlier today. Saw this in the highlights as we came on the air earlier. I don't think he actually scraped the wall. It just got loose and it came around with him. But this is what happened again, going through 3 and 4, coming to take the green flag.
Larry got in there a little bit hot. Back end just come around, like it made a little bit high in that groove, and around chicane, right front kissed the wall. But guys, he kept on digging. He tried to make the show.
One of 9 drivers attempted to make their first start here, Richmond. Another angle, you can see the roof flap pops up. He tests that safer barrier. And real time from a lower angle.
Yeah, he was loose almost before he turned down in the corner. The back end was coming around with him. As you said, Jeff, he went ahead and completed his 2 laps, but way off the pace at a 23.87, and he was one of the cars that pretty much was go or go home. He had to be in the top 38, so I think he's probably going to be one of those 4 cars that will not make this show.
And Larry, you got to believe that right there is strictly a product of the harder tires and getting up out of the groove just a little bit.
And Jason Leffler missed the pole run of Jamie McMurray by only about 2/10, and he's standing by with Dick.
Long Beach, California.
Back in Richmond, you're looking at the 10 car of Gus Watson, Larry Mack, and he had some issues off turn 2, and let's take a look at that.
He had just taken the green flag, and he went through turn 1 and 2. You see him go down in the corner. There's the problem right there, just way up out of the groove. And Jeff, you talked about it earlier. You get about a foot or 2 out of that bottom groove right now, it's like hitting ice.
He actually did a really good job, Larry, of keeping that car off the wall and not damaging it more. He seemed right getting back in the throttle, trying to drive the car away from the wall. Did a really good job.
He should, though, be eligible.
The track cleanup crew back out on the racetrack. The reason? Andy Ponstein in the 39 car had trouble. Again, Larry, turn 2.
Let's take a look at it right here. We'll probably see about the same thing we've seen with about every car. There you see he was up out of the groove, up there about a half a car length, and the car just slides. You know, it's hard to say. Of course, it ended up getting loose, but it's like the whole thing was sliding. The whole car was sliding, and he gets into that safer barrier just a little bit. Car was definitely coming around on him. Tail end first.
And Larry, with that shot into turn 1 and into 2, you can see the rubber on the racetrack.
You really can. And this car here, but coming to the green, he was already loose, Larry. He just about got in the 3rd turn wall before he took the green. So the car definitely didn't have the kind of grip it needed to, and around he came.
But this was on his 2nd lap. His 1st lap was 22.48, 31st quickest. That's probably not going to be quick enough to make the top 38. We'll have to see after it all shakes out if he's eligible for a provisional. But Dick Bergman, how about the man that we thought could knock Kyle Busch off the pole?
Turn 2, the car on the inside tipped Michael, who went for a long, lazy spin and got a piece.
Nice job. Still got one more coming inside. That's it.
Caution
nice job right there.
I believe the car that got into Michael might have been the 96.
I got it.
36, excuse me. We don't have a 96. Of Geisler. Let's have another look. Look at that car on the inside of Michael as he goes into the corner.
Oh, yeah, again, they're 3 wide right there. It's pretty tough to make that move. Michael really had no choice. He was trying to pass the 4 car, and the 36 was slow on the inside.
Yep. But the 36 wasn't up and in his way. There was really not much place for him to go.
He's down below the yellow, white line there, but just...
And it didn't take much of a bump right there on Michael to turn him sideways.
No, it's not a lot of grip, even, as we can see.
I'm wondering, Darrell, if he and the 36 even touched, or was it when he got into Mike Wallace that he went around?
I think he was trying to stay off of the 36. Can't really say. What do you think? What do you think here, Russell?
Well, it looks like Mike got in real deep and had to pull off of Mike. When he did, he got himself loose. I don't believe he got tapped or anybody, Darrell. Looks like Mike just got in a tight position, had to jerk it down to stay off the 4 car, and he got himself spun out there.
10-4, I agree.
What do you think? You agree with that one?
I agree with that one. Good call, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Nice call. Nice call.
I got a better camera you got down here, Darrell.
Well, you got Hammond and Chris Myers working on your team.
Derek Cope will get the free pass. Michael Waltrip brings out the first caution. Lots happened while we were away. First, Jamie McMurray took the lead in traffic from Kyle Busch, a nifty move, and then he smacked the wall in turn 3.
I'm thinking he had a right front tire go down. It's kind of the indication.
He's up there. Don't get it anymore. She's still dragging out. You got one more coming inside, then you can go to the bottom. Well, now Hank, hold what you got. Hold.
Third caution of the night, and it comes with 88 laps completed. Let's have a look at what happened to Jamie McMurray, who was leading at the time.
He's coming off turn 2 right here.
Starts down the back, and you see, had a little problem off of 2.
Looks like the tire's flat right there.
Right, and then he just caught it. Made a light contact. I don't know how much damage that would have done. Didn't look serious, but maybe enough to knock the front end out of line.
He made it to pit road already. Pit road was not open, but this is a good move. The penalty will be started at the tail end of the longest line. That'll be better than dragging the sway bar arm or something off.
And see, this is one of the things we haven't discussed a whole lot, and bring Rusty in on this because he is totally familiar with get that air pressure too low in that right front and trying to make the car turn, and you can have a lot of right front failure.
What these guys will probably do, they may just change the right sides, possibly let him go. Steve Burns.
He almost took Kenny out when that front end went back.
On board with Michael Waltrip, and actually Mike Wallace somewhat affected, but Waltrip in the 99 causing a caution. And our third caution of the night, Dave Blaney in the 31 car. Morgan Shepherd helps this.
Yeah, they Morgan gets in the left rear right there. Dave Blaney cuts the left rear tire down. Around went Blaney, but fortunately they were coming in, make that change.
Jamie McMurray moments ago taking the lead from Kyle Busch and then losing it when that right front tire went.
Oh yeah, he's going straight. He's trying to baby that thing down and just couldn't steer it at the last minute. Got the wall.
Down the front straightaway, Mike Wallace collides with who?
Like the 2? Oh, it's the 8.
It is. It's our point leader.
It's the 8 car.
Martin Truex Jr. gets tangled up with Mike Wallace.
They look like they may be talking it over now. You don't like me, I don't like you.
Fifth caution of the night, lap 119. It is short track Friday night after all.
Oh, I could almost assure you that we will see some tippers flare.
Now Mike Wallace in the 4, he comes to pit road. Pit road is closed right now. Martin Truex Jr. in the 8 car decided to wait till pit road's open, which should be in about the next lap.
Little Geico guy, he's going to be hot. Mike gets under him right here. Coming off of turn 4. Oh, it looks like, I think it looked like Martin was going to try to swing to the inside, and someone was there.
I definitely didn't see Mike Wallace move up.
No, I think he was going to swing under those. He saw those cars in front of him. I don't think he really realized that the 4 car was there. What do you think, Russell?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to uphold Mike in that one. It looks like the 8 car came right across the front of him right then. I mean, from what I see here, I don't think he knew Mike was down there. I really don't. Mike got a good run underneath him, was coming down, and looks like Truex came right across the front. I mean, from my angle, I don't know.
Martin will be lucky if he didn't do any damage to that left front, other than the sheet metal.
Yeah, it looks like Mike got the worst end of that deal.
5 cautions. Last year we had, what, 14 caution flags. Coming up on halfway in 4 laps as they clean up in turn 1. And once again, Kyle Busch and Greg Biffle sit single file behind the safety car. A couple laps ago, here's Robbie Gordon running up on the 36. Travis Geisler. And just before that happened,
trouble down here, turn 3 and 4, guys. Jason Keller.
Oh, and he's hit it hard in turn 3.
And he was having such a great
run. That's Joe Nemechek, an 87 car. But you almost knew something was going on with that car because he just had got lapped by our leader.
Well, Nemechek had made 1 pit stop for fuel when he was at the tail end of the lead lap, and then the next caution came in again, which would not have been a scheduled stop. And
turn left. You're good there. Turn left.
And the Jenkins & Jenkins Chevy will be going to binding arbitration in the garage area.
Yeah, I thought it was Jason Keller because he's got damage on his right front fender, and I saw that red hood. But it was Joe Nemechek.
Tell you what, this caution is a huge break for Martin Truex Jr. and Michael Waltrip both. First and second in the points because they were not far from being lapped.
See what happened to Joe here. This is why we call them safer barriers and not soft wall. That car hit hard.
He just takes off right there, right where you turn into the corner. Looked like a right front went down.
Has all the look. The car just went straight, would not turn.
Looks like if we're going to have a problem, it's going to be with the right fronts, and that's what you always worry about when you got new pavement.
That was a hard lick.
But let me ask, Rusty, isn't it typical here the right front tires give everybody a lot of headache?
Oh, absolutely, because you're leaning on the right side of the car all the time.
Phil Love.
Trouble turn two. Two cars in it hard.
Mike Wallace was.
Stremmy's one of them. Is that Menard the other?
Caution is out.
Well, these red cars.
David Stremme and rookie Paul Menard. And the left rear down on Stremmy's car. So that one may make it around to the garage and may not.
That will be a break for Stacy Compton. He will get the pardon of the free pass in the 59 car.
I think Stremmy's going to need the hook.
Yeah, he's pretty much stuck over there. Got a lot of damage to the rear of the car.
That's Menard on the inside.
Stremme up there on the outside, and let's see what happens here. Looks like if they kind of made contact, Menard gets loose, and when he recovers, he's right into the side of Stremme, who goes into the wall really hard.
Stremmy's onboard camera.
Man, you see all those parts fly around in there?
So we're under caution for the 7th time tonight for this between Paul Menard and David Stremme. Yep, Tony Raines.
Oh, big wreck, big wreck. Stacking up behind him. Michael Waltrip in the 99, Jason Leffler in a 00.
But Leffler did. I don't think he hit anything. And that's hard to believe in all that mess.
Of course, the caution is out. That'll mean Ashton Lewis in the 46. He will get the pardon and the free pass.
All right, we're going to check it out, guys. I don't think it knocked in the front here. I don't think we've got too much damage. Both fenders look okay.
The 00 has got something he hit right square in the middle of the grill.
Oops. Looks like Paul Menard is done for the night. I believe he got tapped by Tony Raines to kick all that off. We'll have to see the replays. Also damage on Johnny Sauter, Michael Waltrip. Among those.
You're going to have to do something to rip his sheet metal off first thing, dude. The tires are up.
That's our new cutaway car, Neil Goldberg, our producer, says.
But just remember, Johnny was running up in the top 10. He had that vibration, had to come to pit road, got back in the pack, and that gets him in trouble back there.
All right, watch the 33. This will be, is this behind
JJ Lately
in 18.
Well, they were all trying to avoid the 33 who was up on the wall.
There you see, Jason Leffler in the 00 got into the right rear of Michael Waltrip there, the 99 car. That was the damage that he had on his front end.
Everybody was trying to go to the bottom to miss the 33 of Menard up on the wall. Ooh.
There's where Johnny Sauter got into Menard, the 27 car.
And there's what Jason Leffler hit. The front end of Michael Waltrip. Let's see what Michael saw.
Whoa, that's what he saw. He's airborne right there.
Yeah, he was like up on the 18 car.
What's the name of that guy that's that 18 car?
Ukulele.
JJ Yaley.
This is Leffler.
Yow. Yow.
You think Dream Machine is the right name for that car?
Oh, no, he's having a nightmare tonight.
Probably not tonight, it wouldn't be.
Everybody has either driven away or climbed out okay. That's the good news.
That car's a mess.
That's the bad news. We're under caution for the 9th time tonight.
Go, Tommy. There you go.
And then Martin Truex Jr. with Mike Wallace. Truex, your Busch points leader, coming in as they continue the Richmond waltz. And the tempers start to heat up with Mike Wallace and Martin Truex Jr. That wasn't the only thing heating up. Joe Nemechek, who won the Cup race here last year in the 87 car, into the wall and lights up the night. And then David Stremme in the 30 car on the outside, Paul Menard on the inside, bringing out another caution. We're currently under our ninth caution. And Jeff, you and Rusty take us through this one.
Well, you see right now, Paul Menard got into trouble with the 74, got in the back of him. Then all of a sudden, everybody kind of piles in there and wants to get in the act, don't they?
Yeah, it looks like they all tried to get off the wall, and Yaley got down and made it 3 wide and got across the front of Michael. And boy, they had a big wreck right there.
Yeah, the 74 gets in the back of Paul Menard up the racetrack. He goes, bounces off the outside wall. But what happens, Rusty? Everybody decides they got to go to the bottom of the racetrack, and there wasn't room for everybody.
Well, that's pretty obvious. I see it here. Here comes Yaley down the bottom, makes it 3 wide. That all happens. But, you know, they had a pretty good amount of distance. I mean, Menard's way up on that wall down there, so I don't know.
Menard, the rookie, in the 33 car, Tony Raines in the 74. These are the drivers that were involved in the crash, bringing out the 9th caution with 41 laps to go. And Kyle Busch, the rookie, by the way, the last rookie to win.
Wham bam. Martin Truex Jr. trying to work his way back up through. Has brought out the 10th caution of the night, getting together there with Tony Raines, and the unfortunate victim is Michael Waltrip.
Boy, and let's see, how many wrecks has Michael been in tonight, for Pete's sake? The dream machine is ruined.
I don't want any dreams like that.
I'm going to tell you what, this is a shame for Tony Raines in the 74 car. He had been solidly in the top 10 all night long.
He just kind of gets squeezed down in the middle right there. I think Michael's up on the outside, and Tony's in the middle. Martin goes by on the bottom and force him up just a little bit into Michael. So many cars with so little room right there.
We'll ride with Michael. Turn 1's been described as a funnel, Darryl.
Yeah, it is. This is what happens right here. Michael's up on the outside. Yow.
And Darryl, turn 1 is also so unique. You don't run in on the bottom of the racetrack. You kind of arc it in. You have to stay out wide getting into turn 1.
And one thing I've noticed, Larry, about turn 1, the pavement with this new paving, they can't get out as wide as they normally do here. They're kind of taking a little straighter line down into that turn.
Now the question has been whether Michael will run the entire season and run for the Busch Championship. He came in here 2nd in points, and this is a big blow to those hopes.
Yeah, I'd say that's what he's been kind of playing with, is can I stay up there or not? And is it worth it?
Because it gets very complicated come the month of June.
It's expensive, too. I mean, you know, you got to take people all over the country.
And Michael's going to climb out.
I think I would, too, brother.
So his race will come up short with 13 laps to go, and Michael will finish 28th or 9th, 27th, 28th tonight. Pit stops: Stacy Compton, J.J. Yaley, Tony Raines, Casey Atwood.
And what this is a lot of cars that were still on the lead lap, but were near the back of the lead lap cars. Nothing really lost. Coming to pit road, trying to get these 4 fresh tires to maneuver your way back up through there. Right now we have about 19 or 20 cars on the lead lap.
It'll be 20 when we add Robert Presley, who should get the free pass, according to our tally.
So that will put 20 cars back on the lead lap, and looks like we're going to maybe go back racing here with roughly about 9 or 10 laps to go.
And Darryl, we're going to have an old-fashioned short track shootout for less than 10 laps.
Well, and the good news for Kyle Busch is no traffic.
The front bumper, I believe, of Robert Presley.
Caution is out. Now we're at lap 244. I know they told the drivers at the drivers meeting that the red flag lap was 246, which is 4 to go.
So they got to stop them. They've got to do it quick. Pace car comes back out. By the way, Dennis Dillard is the pace car driver. Buster Otten alongside. Let's see what we do here. We've got 5.5 to go.
I know what they should do. You give them 1 to go the next time by, and you drop the green flag. Don't need to be talking about closing the pits, opening the pits. Just come by, give them 1 to go, and next time by, go green.
Nothing on the track, it appears. Yaley was able to drive away. That is the 11th, 12th caution. I don't know.
That's
a lot of darn cautions tonight.
A lot of cautions, yeah.
Let's make it 11.
See what happened here. Oh, gee.
like Robert Presley in the 47 just gets into the back of J.J. Yaley in the 18. And J.J. was still on the lead lap.
The most tense part of all this is the restart. We're going to have another one. That's Ricky Hendrick over there cheering his driver on.